Welcome back. We're still reviewing the papers.
Yes, I had a quick story that, so a topic that is very dear to me. That this is from the Minister of Education, Dr. Tuji Alausa. He said, investing in quality education is the smartest economic strategy Nigeria can pursue at the moment. He said this at the Kadu Edu Pact International Education Summit in the Musa Yar'Adua Center of the Muritala Square in Kaduna. But there's another thing he said. Every naira we put into education is a naira saved on conflict resolution, unemployment handouts, and public health emergencies. And it just brings back the conversation we've been having for the past 2 days, that education is information that would cause change. However, this event was about the minister unveiling the Federal Ministry of Education's newly blended financing framework, which would pool federal, state, private sector donors' resources into a transparent, result-driven fund. And I really hope that this move they are making, because really there's need for funding within the educational sector, and they have to find creative ways to find the money, because thinking it's going to come from allocation alone is not going to be enough.
Yeah. Let's move on now to the Punch. Major headline, federal government pushes back as US, UAE tighten visa rules. Ministry begins high-stake negotiations as officials fault US over reciprocity claim. US meeting African leaders seek Trump support to develop resources. IMF pledges support for FIRS on tax reforms. Local government poll, police restrict movement in Lagos and deploy squads. Tinubu government seeking excuse to clamp down on coalition. This is according to ADC. What stories do we have in the Punch?
Local government poll, police restrict movement, deploy squads. So ahead of the local government elections scheduled for Saturday, July 12th, the Lagos State Police Command has announced a total restriction of vehicular movement across the state from 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. on election day. This directive was issued Wednesday, and the reason why is to ensure a secure, peaceful and orderly electoral process across all 20 local government areas and 37 local government council development areas of Lagos. The command said the decision was made in agreement with other security and safety agencies under the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, citing the need to safeguard the elections, the electorates, LASIEC officials and ad hoc staff and electoral processes. So they say this restriction will be strictly enforced across the entirety of Lagos State. So simple short, 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. No movement, vehicular movement. And this
but
really
here the media will get like a pass, because I was asking for Saturday.
No, you can move, but you can
just have your pass.
Your ID card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other story in the Punch?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I have the story of the Tinubu government seeking excuse to clamp down on coalition. They said the African Democratic Congress has accused the APC-led federal government, that's ADC, the new party that they just formed, government of plotting to suppress legitimate opposition under the guise of national security. And they are now coming out, the ADC are coming out and saying that he had no intention of undermining democracy, but he solely focused on rescuing Nigeria for what he described as the irredeemable incompetence of President Bola Tinubu's administration. Then they now said that they said the special advisor on information and strategy, that's the special advisor to Tinubu, Bayo Onanuga, they said that he alleged that certain political figures were banding together to overthrow an administration that has been the most focused and most transformative in our history. But the ADC people came out and dismissed his post and said it's irresponsible and defamatory, and that what they are doing here is they are solely committed to saving the nation from the irredeemable incompetence of this government, and the only means available to us is the democratic means. And they said we are not soldiers, we are politicians, we don't have bullets, only ballots. When the time comes, we'll present our solutions and an alternative vision of the future to the Nigerian people and leave them to make their choice.
Okay, so I have the headline here. The federal government has expressed concern over the recent decision by the United States to impose tighter visa restrictions on Nigerian citizens, describing the move as disproportionate, calling for reconsideration in the spirit of mutual your respect and cooperation. It comes just as the United Arab Emirates also imposed tougher entry conditions for Nigerian travelers, banning transit visa applications entirely. So according to the new directives from Dubai Immigration, they said Nigerians aged 18 to 14 will no longer be eligible
45.
Jesus, will no longer be eligible for tourist visas unless accompanied by who? Grandfather, because I don't understand. Well, those aged 45 and above must provide 6 months personal bank statements showing at least $10,000 monthly balance before they are granted visas.
They should just tell us
what's going on.
To see us.
Then the British High Commission in Abuja also announced a change to the United Kingdom's immigration process for Nigerians applying for study and work visas. They said that it's going to be effective July 8, 2025. Most non-immigrant and non-diplomatic visas issued to Nigerians will now be valid for only 3 months and limited to a single entry. Anyway, they are going to be having meetings. Federal government is going to have meetings to see how they can, resolve this.
It's not our priority. Moving on to what is our priority is the fact that the First Lady has inaugurated a 30-bed primary health care center in Lagos. This is in the Ikoyi-Obalende. It is extremely important that we have more primary health care centers, and this is an ultra-modern health facility built by the council, by the LCDA. I think prior to the elections, they started a campaign, but still, the people of Ikoyi-Obalende would have access to this. They said it aligns with the Renewed Hope agenda. The wife of the Lagos State Governor was there, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu. The First Lady was also there. I want to get the name of the chairman that executed this project, but I know that it is the local council development area of Ikoyi-Obalende, and I believe that the people will be happy to access better health care,
We have to move on now to Daily Sun. Major headline: banks intensify merger talks, hunt for 783 billion to meet recapitalization deadline. Senate passes bill to reform power sector, criminalize national grid vandalism. Speed up constitution review, conference of speakers urge NAS, that's National Assembly. Joint security team neutralizes 30 bandits. TET fund threatens to delist institutions for non-utilization of allocations. FCT teachers end strike after payment of 5 months salary arrears and others. EFCC arrests 146 foreign cyber criminals using Nigerian identities. What do we have in the Sun?
EFCC has arrested 146 foreigners allegedly involved in one of the biggest international cybercrime syndicates operating in the country. Ola Olukoyede, who is EFCC chairman, he was one that disclosed it at the 2025 National Cybersecurity Conference in Abuja. He said the suspects had been using Nigerian identities, email accounts, IP addresses to commit several cross-border fraud, giving the world the false impression that the crimes were being perpetrated by Nigerians. He said the arrests were made through a new EFCC-led operation targeting transnational cybercrime rings, and they are working closely with international partners such as the FBI, UK authorities, and Italian government, with whom they have signed an MOU to jointly investigate and prosecute global cyber criminals. Fantastic. And that very soon they're already preparing to repatriate the arrested suspects after they serve their jail terms here in Nigeria. Kudos. And then they're saying hopefully, they didn't put hopefully, I'm the one that said it. They said they will fully digitalize its operations, that's EFCC, by the end of 2025. So covering petition, submission, investigation, and prosecution will be done digitally.
Okay. Any other stories in the Sun? Let's move on now to the Vanguard. 2027, don't underestimate Tinubu, Ribadu wants opposition. Federal government targeting food sufficiency through PPP, Information Minister. No one single-handedly made Buhari president in 2015, says ex-SGF boss Mustafa. Federal government secures 747 million loan for Lagos-Calabar Highway. That's in dollars. Construction of Eastern Rail Line corridor begins. Governors renew push to delist labor from exclusive lists. Immigration, Nigerians face growing visa hurdles in US, UK, Canada, UAE, and others. FIRS has made significant progress, this is according to the IMF, and 2 feared dead as gunmen attack Anambra community. What do we have in the Vanguard?
So the military police kill 30 bandits. The loss of 5 lives in Katsina. The joint security forces in Katsina state has neutralized about 30 bandits during the coordinated counter-terror move in Faskari local government area following the Faskari, fantastic, Faskari local government area following the continuous attack on the 3 communities by hundreds of heavily armed criminals. The attack, they said, occurred around 5 p.m. on Tuesday, and they were targeting the village of Kadisu, and they said they prompted the action of both the mobile police force as well as the military personnel and the Nigerian Air Force, and they averted majority of the tragedy. They said but 5 operatives and 1 civilian lost their life. However, they were able to neutralize, or rather take out 50 bandits. 50 bandits, 5 police officers. Our heart goes out to the police officers who lost their lives in the journey, and you know, and the 1 civilian that also passed on. But this is good. Kudos to them for
the job that you're doing. Thank you so much, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we'll move on to the topics for today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.